I recruited Andrea to become the Director of Admissions for the Undergraduate Degree Completion Program in 1986 here at George Fox. It's a brand new program. We hired her from University of Oregon, and the reason I hired Andrea was because I knew she was a very hard worker, very competent at what she does.
She was, just always a really solid leader, and never one to hoard that over anybody, but to be a part of the team and provide servant leadership.
Andrea was part of the leadership when George Fox experienced its rapid growth. She was involved in the acquisition of the PhD program, which launched our graduate programs. She has been involved in really launching all of the remote sites that we had, the Boise site, the Salem site, Portland, which was part of the seminary, and expanding that. The Stevens Center, which is our Center for Enrollment Services, which is a vision of our former president. She was the project manager for that building. So her hand is woven throughout George Fox.
Andrea is masterful at problem solving. She's great in that she starts with a belief in the integrity of the solution starts with the process to seek out the solution.
Andrea was the one to go to say, hey, I'm trying to do something and I think it's going to benefit the university or it's going to benefit the students, and she'd say, she was the one to help you break through the barriers of if a policy wasn't serving students, then it wasn't doing its job. So the policy needed changing, not the student who was bringing up the concern.
I think Ed Stevens saw a little bit of himself in her. He came from Wyoming and cowboy kind of country, and I think Ed saw in her some of the same qualities that he had in himself, and he helped cultivate those with her. And he knew she was bright, he knew she had ambition, and he knew she had the innate ability to lead people and to push things forward, and he liked that about her, and he sought to cultivate that in her.
You know, looking back at it, I think they have a lot of the same skills. That Andrea may not be quite as forceful as Ed was, but Andrea has a lot of his skills in dealing with people and just being open and honest and being a friend to all.
She worked under a president who really believed in her, and he would give her more and more responsibility. So while she would start in dealing with admissions, then she would deal with enrollment services, and then she would deal with the registrar, and then so as she took on each new task, it was a new opportunity to assess how that function within the larger university could be improved.
Andrea would never talk about wanting to be a president. You knew she had all the qualities with her, how collegial she was in her interaction with people and how collaborative she was, as well as just making good decisions.
Andrea has a heart for students. She understands that's what drives, that's the core of the university is a student experience and their learning. And she takes that very seriously, has always taken time to sit and visit with students. I mean, I saw her schedule. I know what she had to do and the meetings that she had to be a part of. But there was always time for students.
She doesn't see herself as someone who's a high-power executive. She sees herself as a farm girl from Eastern Oregon, and why in the world wouldn't I strike up a conversation with you? And we would use first names, and I would be friendly and interested in what's going on in your life.
She has a good sense of humor, likes to laugh at herself, and is very balanced like that.
I think seeing her in a tractor one morning out in the softball field, getting the field ready to go, that was Andrea. She didn't delegate, she did it.
Andrea, I think of someone who has great vision, who has a deep commitment to Christ and to students, and to blending that Christian character and development of an academic experience. I mean, she represents the liberal arts core university so well.
She showed me what faith looks like. It's authentic, it's real, and it's integrated into all the pieces of her life. So there isn't like this, it isn't like now we're talking about my faith. Everything we're talking about is infused with her faith.
I have, certainly a whole new appreciation for the issues that she was facing, but my hope is that I can carry out those duties and mentor my staff in the same manner that she has cared for so many and helped them develop professionally.
The contributions that Andrea made to Goshen College were many. Her deep and quiet belief that she was following God's will in coming here actually helped people around her say, I believe, I feel that. I wonder what God wants us to do. We all together were engaged in a strategic planning process that helped us locate the 5 core values of Goshen College, but of doing it in a way that the entire community, the campus, the students, the faculty, the staff, everybody on campus, but also the board, also the alumni, also the community, would be involved and would own the end process. I think there's no greater testimony to the fact that they are community values than that they have continued to go on. The college is prospering and the institutional values are firmly in place. And it was very interesting to me that although Andrea was one of the people I knew who was best prepared, in my opinion, to be a college president, she didn't even like the question particularly well. She talked about, I'm at God's disposal. So it was a combination of absolutely being on the path to being prepared to be a college president and not making that the goal.